as we approach child's pose, just start to get settled. Start to feel connected. Start to allow your mind and body to enter the space. Just start to feel and connect from within. Just see if you can find a little bit of stillness this morning. Allow the mind to be anchored. So our theme for this week is mukti, which is liberation or freedom. And we'll be exploring this idea of freedom in our flow today. So we'll be building a flow together. And I'll just ask that you stay present to that flow and see if you can find that flow from within, allowing the mind to link with the body, the spirit, allowing that awareness to kind of creep from within throughout the body. But then also, it's a little bit harder to find that freedom, that liberation when we're still. So we'll be exploring anchoring the mind and seeing if we can find that freedom from within when we're still in certain poses as well. So keeping that all in mind, let's take a deep breath in. Allow the belly to fill up, the heart space to expand. And exhale, let it go. Take one more round of controlled breath here. Inhale fully, deeply, strongly, and exhale, let it go. All right, awesome job, guys. From here, let's find a shoulder stretch. So keep in child's pose in the lower body. We're just going to thread the left arm through, so the left ear and the left shoulder comes down to the mat. The right hand can be directly out in front of the right shoulder, or maybe you want to explore wrap that right arm around and find a little half bind. Either options are great options. Just start to breathe into the shoulder space here. So our peak pose is Pavrita Janu Shustrasana, which is a big hamstring and side opening pose. So we'll be exploring lots of torso, side, body openings, which feel really, really great. Kind of adding length and space in between the ribs, and then we'll get to our pose at the end of class. Take one more breath here. If you have the bind, see if you can roll that right shoulder open a little bit more. And then exhale, slowly let that go. Right hand comes right back out, left hand comes out, and we'll switch out sides. So this time the right arm comes under, right ear and right shoulder come down to the mat. And the left fingertips can be out front in front of the shoulder, or maybe you explore that half bind, wrapping the arm around the low back, reaching for that hip crease area. If you have the bind, see if you can gently roll that left shoulder open. Again, just an option here. My only really ask for you all this morning is to just take poses and versions of the poses that best resonate with you and your body. We're all different. We all feel different sensations. And just choose a version that suits what you need today, right now. Take one more deep breath in. Maybe open that shoulder a little bit more. And then exhale, come back to center, reach both arms out in front, still child's pose in the low body. Inhale here. Then exhale, reach both hands over to the right side, body stretch. Plant the heels of both hands down into the mat. Really stretch from the left hip all throughout the left side. So creating length in that left side body. And breathe into that space. Good job, guys. Let's walk both hands on over to the left. Just switching out that side. This time creating space in our right side body. Breathing deeply here. Inhale in. And exhale out. Inhale fully. And exhale, bring the hands back to center, and we'll make our way up into tabletop pose. So stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, gently drawing the belly button up towards the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, pull the shoulders back, set the gaze up. And then exhale, push through the hands around the spine, cat pose. So let's just start to circle through our cat and our cows. Inhale, drop the belly, pull the shoulders back. Then exhale, push through the hands around the spine. Go ahead and just take this at your own pace. Feel free to invite in different movements. Maybe you want to circle the hips or pause in a certain pose. Any other additional movements, welcome here. See if you can use your breath to really link the movements together. Let's take one more round wherever you're at. We'll meet back in that neutral spine. Then from here, let's find puppy dog pose. Just walk the handprints forward. We're keeping the hips lifted and just start to lower the chest down towards the mat. So maybe the chest reaches the mat, maybe the chin does, or maybe it doesn't. Truly does not matter. We just want to feel that opening in the shoulders, the pecs, that upper body area. You should feel it all there. So mukti liberation is this concept, this idea that the freedom of the mind has always existed within us. And through expectations and situations and obstacles, we kind of create this turmoil of the mind, these restrictions, this sense of bondage. And through stillness, through awareness, we can start to get back to that original liberation of the mind, where we feel free and connected to our highest self. Walk the handprints back under the shoulders, tabletop pose. Awesome. From here, we'll find bird dog. So we're reaching the right arm forward out of the shoulder, really pressing in through that left hand and extending the left leg back. I want you to think lengthen the body rather than lifting the limbs. So really flex out through the left heel and reach through the right fingertips. And then I always check in with my left hand. I want to make sure my shoulder isn't dumping towards the mat. I'm really using the four corners of my hands to reach up and push away from the mat. Awesome. Take a deep breath in, pull the belly, engage the core. Then exhale, we'll bend the left knee, right hand reaches around, maybe grasp for that foot. If you can't reach the foot, that's totally okay. Bending and reaching is perfectly fine. If you do have the connection, draw the right shoulder forward in line with the left. So stable shoulders, and then maybe start to kick that foot into the hand. So this is our half bow shape. Good job, guys. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, release the right hand. Left leg stays extended. We're coming to modified side plank. So the right hand plants down. We're going to pivot and turn that right leg. And then the left arm reaches up, stacking left arm over right. So let's explore that side body stretch here. We're going to reach the left fingertips long. Point through the toes, really reach the ball of the left foot away from the hand. We're creating length in that left side body. And then same thing with the right hand, push it away from the mat, out of the shoulder. Scoop the right obliques in, super strong here, even as we're in a modified version of a pose. Really good. Right hand, or left hand comes down, left leg back under, tabletop pose. Just resetting here, kind of whack out the tail, shift the shoulders back and forth, and then we'll switch out sides. So on an inhale, left arm comes forward, bicep in line with the ears, and then kick the right leg back. Engage the glute, engage the inner thigh. Think lengthen the body, lengthen the torso, and gently draw the belly button in. Check in with that right shoulder, push it up and away. Take a deep breath in, find your balance. Then exhale, bend the right knee, left arm reaches around for that foot, whether you have the bind or not. And then maybe you start to back bend here, kicking in the foot and taking in. Check in with the shoulders, make sure they're even. Really good. Start to gently let go of that. Left hand comes back down, right leg extends. And then we're opening, so we're pivoting and turning to that modified side plank. So pivot and shift that left foot. And then reach the right arm up overhead. Good job, guys. Let's go ahead and reach the right bicep in line with the ear. And find length all the way from the fingertips to the toes. Stretch that right side body open. All right, then right hand comes down, right knee comes down. And then we'll start to come into our downward facing dog, curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back. And walk the handprints a little bit forward, take any movements you'd like to take, maybe pedaling the feet out or shifting the hips. And then starting to control the breath, so letting go of that freedom, that mukti in the breath. Starting to control it, let's all breathe together. Take a deep inhale in and exhale out. 2 more cycles of breath, inhale in fully and exhale out. Last round of breath, inhale in and exhale out. Set the gaze forward in between the hands. Then we'll start to walk the feet up towards the top of the mat. Let's go ahead and grab opposite elbows. Allow the head to hang heavy. Go forward fold here. You can bend the knees as much as you'd like. So the legs can be straight, the knees can be really bent. Totally up to you. Sometimes I find a deeper stretch in the hamstrings when I bend my knees and allow my chest to come to the tops of the legs. So always putting on that observer hat, witnessing the self. And through that, we're able to evaluate what are our habits of the pose, where does our mind tend to go in certain poses, and how can I make these little adjustments in my practice to best benefit myself. Let's go ahead and let go of the arms. We'll find halfway lift from here. Place the hands on the shins, spiral the inner thighs back, pull the belly in, knit the rib cage together. Reach the gaze forward, take a breath in, and then exhale, pull back in. I'll ground down to the feet, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, pull the hands to heart center, mountain pose, shine the palms forward, drop the shoulders back. Engage the quads, lift the kneecaps here, strong like a mountain, unwavering. Beautiful, guys. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Linking our breath to our flow, finding freedom here. Exhale, forward fold. Taking this first round slow, inhale finds halfway lift, gently tone the belly. Then exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank. You can always drop the knees here. Shoulders over wrists, draw the belly in, hug towards the midline of the body. Inhale here. And exhale out. Find your strength from within, inhale in. And exhale out. Last breath, inhale. Come on to the toes, then exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Let's go ahead and walk the hands wide, so coming up onto the fingertips. Really press the toenails into the mat. We're coming up into this modified wide cobra shape. If that doesn't feel right, you can always just take your regular cobra or baby cobra. Really spiraling the shoulders back, popping the chest forward, keeping the legs super strong and active. Go ahead and slowly lower, tap the nose down. Plant the hands under the shoulders, curl the toes up and back, downward facing dog. Link back to the breath, inhale in, exhale out. Inhale in, Exhale out. Inhale, gaze forward and between the hands. Then exhale, feet step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Ground down to the feet, reach the arms all the way up. Then exhale, pull the hands through heart center. Linking breath to movement, one breath, one movement. Inhale, arms sweep up. Lift through the side bodies here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank. On the same exhale, shift forward onto the toes, lower halfway, and then always modify down to the belly. Inhale, press onto the tops of the feet, lift the chest forward, upward facing dog. And then exhale, push to the hands, downward facing dog. Back to the breath, pause here. See if you can find that ujjayi breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Breath sounds like the ocean floor. Inhale, so the gaze forward. Exhale, feet meet hands, however you'd like to get there. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold back in. Ground down to the feet, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, pull the hands through heart center. One more round, make this your strongest yet. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, lowering on the same exhale. Inhale, tops the feet, lift the thighs, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Observe the breath here. Notice how the breath is flowing in and out of the body differently than it is at the beginning of class. So you could see if you can make your breath nice and even and link your mind's awareness to the breath. All right, from here, let's take a quick child's pose, drop the knees and shins. Just bring the knees out wide if that feels okay on the low back, and just reach the arms forward. Allow a moment of peace and rest here. All right, and then whenever you're feeling ready, we will all meet back in downward facing dog. Just curl the toes under, let the hips up and back. All right, so let's take a little twist before we get moving and flowing. We're going to step the feet wide. So I like to set mine kind of the width of the mat. You can do wider than that also. And then I walk my hands a little bit closer to my feet, so a little bit of a shorter stance. We're gonna plant down into our left hand, feel that anchorage point there. And then the right hand will reach onto the outside of the left shin area. Shin, ankle. You could even use the quad. We're just trying to reach our chest forward, sending the gaze under the armpit. Scoop the belly in. Push the floor away from you. And then we'll switch out sides. Good job, guys. Go ahead and set that back up. Shift your weight into your right hand, spread the fingers wide. All right, and the left hand reaches under the body, reaches for the outside edge of the right ankle, right shin, right quad area. Doesn't matter, just find that point where you can anchor the hand. And then start to scoop the belly up and in, pull the chest through and under the armpit. Awesome. Go ahead and come back through center. We'll lift the right leg high, three-legged dog, and then bend the knee, open the hip. Stacking right hip on top of left. I like to kind of make circles with my ankles here. So any movements that serve you. All right, switch out sides. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Stacking left hip on top of right. Keeping the shoulders even and square towards the front of the mat. Maybe taking little movements with the ankle, whatever serves you. All right, then back to downward facing dog. All right, let's start to flow together. We'll build our flow. Inhale, lift the right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw the right knee to the right tricep area. So scooping it up. Inhale, lift the right leg up and back. Exhale, step forward. We're coming to high crescent warrior lunge. So you're gonna ball the left foot, reach your arms up overhead. So just taking a moment to get settled into the body, making any little micro adjustments as needed. Sometimes I kind of like to put my hands to my hips or stop my foot in a little bit. Just finding that kind of ideal position where you feel strong, stable, connected and grounded. All right, awesome. Let's go ahead and interlace the hands together, but we're keeping our index fingers pointed up towards the ceiling. So we kind of have this like L shape in the hands, and we're drawing our biceps back by the ears, so opening the chest. Inhale in fully, lift up out of the side body, then exhale, we'll hinge over to the right. So we're always stretching over our front leg. Nice. Inhale, come back up to center. Maybe keeping the arms in this position, or you can always bring the hands to heart center, but we're going to start to shift the weight forward, coming into our warrior three. The arms up will be a little bit more challenging, but see if you can find length from the heels to the pointer finger. Belly in, inhale in, exhale out, you got this. One more deep breath in. Then exhale, we'll lower the bottom hand for half moon. So opening the left hip on top of right. And then the left hand opens, stacking shoulder on shoulder, flexing the left toes. Try to scoop the right side body up, but toning the oblique. All right, great work, everyone. We're going to lower the bottom foot down, coming into warrior two, so bend the front knee deeply, and then start to lower back. Warrior two. Again, as we're kind of setting up our flow, taking any little micro adjustments you need to. My shoulders tend to kind of want to creep forward, so I like to dial them back over my hips, and draw the shoulders together. So just taking a moment to explore your tendencies, see if you can make any little micro adjustments. Awesome job. Let's go ahead and bring the hands back up overhead. Interlace the fingers. Take that L shape with the thumbs and the index finger. Start to straighten the right leg. Then first we're going to tip over into a modified triangle. So reaching over, stretching that left side body open first. And then from here, we'll lower the right arm down and the left arm up for that triangle pose. Good job here. So lots of strengthening poses in our flows today. Lots of warriors, lots of lower body strength. So just breathe your way through it. We'll start to see if you can find any freedom in that flow. All right, let's go ahead and come back through center. We'll pivot the toes. So we're setting up for wide-legged forward fold, hinging up the hips, allowing the head to hang heavy. So think of this as your release on each side. As we start to flow on our own, you can explore the space, maybe taking like a side lunge or a twist or a bind or a headstand. This is a really nice pose to release or explore other options. All right, awesome. So we're going to end our flow in extended side angle. So start to point the right toes forward. Bend at the right knee, right hand can come inside of that right foot or forearm on the right thigh. So wherever you're at, deeply bend in the knees and then see if you can open the chest. Like I said, lots of side body action here. We're gonna feel like 2 inches longer by the end of this class. All right, cool. Go ahead and bring the hands down, frame the front foot, step back, inhale in. Then exhale, you can take a vinyasa in between sides, or you can just meet me back in downward facing dog. So the chaturanga, that high to low plank is always, always optional. Take it when you need it. You want to build some heat. leave it out when you don't. Let's cleanse the breath between sides. Take a deep inhale in, fill up. Then exhale, gently push it out through the mouth. Left side, inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Pull the belly in. Inhale, lift it up and back. Step it through, high crescent warrior lunge. Inhale, reach. See if you can find the opposite interlace with the fingers. It's always hard for me, I don't know why. We're finding that crescent warrior shape, reaching the shoulders back. Then we'll side bend over to the left. So again, as we start to flow on our own, we're always side bending over our front bent leg. Inhale, come back up to center. Prepare your hands, they can stay here, or you can start to bring them to heart center, start to hinge and shift forward, warrior three. See if you can use that strength in your front leg, that leverage to spring up. Inhale in here, exhale out. Last breath in, find your balance, and then exhale, open, half moon pose, left fingertips down, stack that right hip. Nice job, guys. Let's go ahead and bend deeply through the front knee, start to step that right foot back. Warrior two. Go ahead and make any little adjustments as needed. Eventually make your way into stillness and allow the body to breathe. Inhale, straighten the leg, reach the arms up overhead, maybe taking that steeple fingers with the bind here, and then start to hinge over the front leg for that triangle pose. So this is using a lot of core here. So breathe into that left oblique, and then we'll drop the left arm down. Right arm reaches, triangle pose. If that bind option doesn't serve you, just skip it. Cool, use the belly to bring you back up to center, pivot the left toes, hinge from the hips, wide-legged forward fold. Find your release here. Allow the hamstrings to open. And as you start to notice thoughts creeping into the mind, see if you can just identify and label each thought as a thought, and then pick something that keeps you back to present moment. So sometimes if I notice my mind wandering through like my to-do list or what I have to do later or so on and so forth, I'll just stop myself, label it as a thought, come back to my breath, or come back to the sensation of the pose, how I feel in the body. All right, perfect. So from here, we're coming to extended side angle, point the left toes forward, bending deeply in the left knee, left fingertips come down, or on top of the forearm, or reaching the right arm overhead. See if you can spiral the chest up. Tendency is to kind of want to let it droop down, but see if you can really open that right side of the chest open. Beautiful, go ahead and spiral the hands down, step the left foot back, high plank, inhale in here. Then exhale, you can shift back to down dog or take your chaturanga to upward facing dog. Come back to the breath, inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale in. And exhale out. Start to speed up that flow, linking back to movement. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, lift it up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through, high crescent warrior lunge. Find your balance. Inhale, interlace the fingers. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, start to hinge forward. Use your balance. Warrior three. Easier said than done. All right, from here we find half moon, right fingertips come down. Then we'll bend deeply in the front leg, start to transition back to warrior two. And see if you can find grace and freedom in the transitions just as much as the poses. Reach the arms overhead, maybe finding that interlaced fingers. Then exhale, start to hinge over to the right, lengthening the side bodies. Pull the belly in. Then exhale, drop right arm down, triangle pose. Inhale in fully, open the chest. Exhale, use the belly, hinge back up. Pivot the right toes, inhale in. Exhale, lower, wide-legged forward fold. Few cycles of breath here. Any variations, welcome. All right, come back to center. We'll start to pivot the right toes out, bend deeply in the right knee for that side angle. Again, if you want to take this into a bind or a half bind or bird of paradise as you're flowing on your own, those are good options from your side angle. All right, go ahead and lower the hands down, set the right foot back, high plank. From here, slowly lower with control through your vinyasa or back to downward facing dog. As we approach back through downward facing dog, take a deep breath in. Exhale it out through the mouth. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, lift the left leg up and back. Exhale, step it through, high crescent warrior lunge. Inhale, arms sweep up. Interlace the fingers, exhale over to the left. Feels a little unstable, so bear with it. Inhale, reach the arms back up to center. Then exhale, hinge the chest forward. Start to kick up into warrior three. Be patient with yourself in the balance, it's tough. We'll lower down to our half moon. Kick that energy out for the right toes. Then slowly with control bend through the front knee, drop the foot back. Warrior two. Yeah, good job guys. Inhale, arms lift up, maybe interlacing the fingers as an option. Exhale, hinge over, so tipping that right hip back, reaching the fingertips forward, and then dropping the left hand down, right arm up. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, pivot and lower, wide-legged forward fold. Any option, welcome here. I'm going to interlace and take a bind. Go ahead and start to lift back up to center, use the belly. Then we'll pivot the toes out, coming into that extended side angle on the left side. Really thinking about side body space. Opening here. And then lowering down, stepping back, moving through your flow. Or just moving back to downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and just take rest for a moment. I'm going to come into a little hero's pose, coming onto my knees and shins, setting my hips back, or like a little modified hero. If you need to take a sip of water, take a breather. Just going to sit upright and find my breath. So as we begin to start to flow on our own, we can take the flow that we've built together and you can add on to that. You can subtract to it. You can work on something completely new. So I want you to feel liberated and freedom in your own practice to not follow what I've provided you. So use this time on your mat to explore whatever you need to explore this morning. I'll be going through the flow that I just taught. I'll run through it verbally on the right side, and we'll have some space to go through whatever you'd like to go through together. So with that being said, let's go ahead and meet back in downward facing dog. Take your time to get there. Then you can start to move on your own, or you can follow me on the right side. If you're following me, inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, knee to right tricep. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, high crescent warrior lunge. Inhale, rise and release the fingers. Exhale, side bend over to the right. Inhale, reach up back to center. Exhale, ground through the heel, warrior three. Inhale in here, find strength in the legs. Exhale, drop the right arm, half moon. Inhale in. Exhale, bend and lower, warrior two. Inhale in to prepare. Exhale, straighten the arm, interlace the fingers. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge on over, reach the hip, then lower the arm. Inhale, open the chest, triangle pose. Exhale, pivot and turn wide-legged forward fold. 3 cycles of breath here. Take any variations you need. All right, go ahead and point the right toes forward. We're ending up in that side angle pose. Inhale, right fingertips down, left fingertips reach towards the front of the room. Then exhale, spiral the hands down, set back high plank, and lower through. So from here, you can go ahead and cycle through your left side or start to flow on your own. You can follow me if you need some visual cues. Seeing if we can find that liberation, that freedom in our flow, where our mind is drawn to that freedom, that space we're creating, not worrying about anything else. Remember, we can find that freedom in the transitions just as much as the postures ourselves. So drawing our awareness to the transitions equally as much as the poses, seeing if we can create that fluidity. Within this flow, we're really striving for that equal balance of effort and letting go. Effort when we feel our strength in our body, But letting go where we feel that release and openness, that perfect balance. That's what we're striving for. We have a couple more minutes. I'm going to take the flow one more time through both sides, but you are more than welcome to work on anything else you'd like to work on, maybe an inversion or an arm balance. This is a very powerful flow, so just really see if you can sync the breath to the movements. We'll start to make our way into a resting pose. I'm going to choose Supta Baddha Konasana on my back, so you're welcome to take that as well, or you can take Child's Pose or a seated posture. Supta Baddha Konasana, our soles of the feet are together and our knees are out wide. I like to bring one hand to my heart, one hand to my belly, and really allow myself to feel my breath. Feel the belly rising on the inhale, and that belly letting go on the exhale. Seeing if we can find some softness here. Feeling liberated in the breath. Completely liberated and letting go of the body. Allowing the mind to be still. Really enjoy and savor the breath here. If you have the eyes closed, go ahead and blink them open. If you are not on your back, go ahead and make your way onto your back. We're setting up for a rounded bridge pose. Go ahead and walk the heels under the knees, walking the heels in towards the glutes, shoulder blades into the mat. On an inhale, start to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, you can roll the shoulder blades under and then release the fingers directly underneath that low back. If you're doing that, really ground down through the heels, press the hands into the mat, lift the hips. Feel the strength that we're creating in the legs. The inner thighs hug towards one another. Our quads are super active. Inhale, see if you can maybe lift the hips up one more inch. Then exhale, we'll slowly lower all the way down. Go ahead and walk the knees, or sorry, the feet out wide. And then the knees drop in. So giving yourself some space in the sacrum, the low back area. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Go ahead and walk the heels back under the knees. We're going to set up for either one more round of bridge, or if you feel open and you'd like to take wheel, I'll cue for that. So either ground on the heels, lift up the hips for bridge. If you're coming into wheel, go ahead and flip the hands so that the fingertips are pointing towards the shoulders. Once you have that flip, go ahead and draw the elbows in towards the midline, hugging them together. Ground down to the feet, maybe lifting onto the crown of the head first, and then using the strength of your arms, pressing the heels into the mat, lift off full wheel pose. Bridge is totally fine here too. Just want to get that back side of the body open. If you're in wheel, see if you can pull the chest to the gates of the arms a little bit more. Same action in bridge, hug the inner thighs together, maybe lift up one more inch, inhale. And then slowly lower all the way down. Good job, guys. Hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze here. Massaging out that low back. And we'll start to rock forward and backwards along the spine. We'll come up into a seated session. All right, how are we doing on time? Perfect. All right, so I'm facing you. So let's go ahead and we'll set up for Janusarasana. We'll do regular, and then we'll do our peak pose, paprita, which is like a twisting kind of side body opener. So let's go ahead and extend the right leg forward. I'm gonna look opposite than you guys. My brain can't do the mirrored version. And then our sole of our left foot is in the right leg. For this first version, our right leg is directly out from the hip. So it's not at that side angle, it's directly forward. So we have tree pose in the legs. Our pelvis is rooted to that sits bones. You can feel them anchoring into the mat. And then start to lift up. So lifting up out of our side bodies, our arms reach up overhead. Long spine here. Inhale, reach maybe 1 inch taller. Exhale, fold forward over that right leg. The bend in the right knee is always welcome. There's no need to strive for a perfection that does not exist. We could practice for years and years and our entire lifetime and still not reach a perfection. It's just, it does not exist. Allow yourself to soften. Feel the hamstring lengthen here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, soften a little bit more. Last breath in. And exhale, slowly make your way on up. All right, peak pose time, Pavrita Janusarasana. I'm sure I'm butchering the Sanskrit. It is not my forte, but let's go ahead. And so we have the shape in our legs. Let's start to hinge that right leg out. So we're making a check mark shape in the legs. Perfect. All right, so from here, we're going to start to walk the right hand inside the right leg. I like to flex my right toes up towards the ceiling, keeping that energy active and drawing up. So right hand starts to walk in, and then we're reaching our left arm up and overhead, reaching towards the toes. If you want to get a little bit deeper, you can plant the forearm down and start to reach, 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 reach. I'm going to angle my body a little bit different. Reach, reach, reach. If you're uber open, you can find the grip with the toes and start to use that leverage of the forearm down the mat and the hand on the toes. Start to spiral the chest open. But you can do all of that action without tapping the bind. Pull the chest open, the shoulder back, reach, reach, reach. Take a deep breath in. Create space in that hip. Then exhale, come back up the center. Nice job. Go ahead and extend both legs out. Give them a little shake or windshield wiper back and forth. I don't know about y'all, but that pose just feels so good to me. It's like opening the entire body. Okay, other side. Left leg out, right sole of the foot in. We're creating that tree pose in the leg. Ground down through the hips. Lift up out of the side bodies. Arms reach up overhead, inhale here. And then start to soften and fold, exhale. Try and use Shavasana A. Allow the body to soften. Find a sense of release and surrender here. Where can I let go of? Is my jaw clenching or my eyebrows furrowed? My forehead tight? My shoulders by the ears? Where can I be a little bit more softer? Where can I surrender? Take a deep breath in. And exhale, start to walk your way back up to center. Peak pose on the left side, paprika. Go ahead and extend the left leg out at an angle, making a little check mark in the legs. Sitting up really tall. Right hand comes down, start to walk that right hand down towards, or left hand towards the foot, and then we're reaching the right arm up and overhead. Angle so you can see a little bit better. Maybe you come down to the forearm, but we really want to focus on that opening in the side body. So all the way from that lower back up into the rib cage. You can bind with the foot, press up out of the forearm, lift up out of the chest. See if you can find that freedom and liberation even in this pose here. Beautiful. Go ahead and come back up to center. We'll go ahead and bring the soles of both feet together for Baddha Konasana. Go ahead and flex the glutes. That will help drop the knees down a little bit further, closer to the ground. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, start to fold. The hips to open and soften. Again, check in with the face. I'm always clenching my jaw when another part of the body is uncomfortable and opening. So maybe notice your tendencies. Where do I shift my tension as it's releasing in one place? Can I soften and still the mind? Where can I find a little bit more freedom in my practice? Go ahead and come on back up, and we'll slowly make our way onto our backs. Let's go ahead and hug the right knee into the chest, drawing the knee in towards the armpit. Inhale here. Then exhale, go ahead and drop it on over, supine spinal twist. The right arm can be long out of the shoulder, maybe in a cactus shape. See if you can just allow the right knee to be heavy, not forcing it down. See if you can let go of the breath, let go of control of the breath. But allow the mind to be completely stilled and anchored in this moment. Not somewhere yesterday or somewhere in the future. See if you can allow yourself to be completely attuned to what's happening right now. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Go ahead and bring that right knee back to center. And then exhale, let the right leg long. Inhale, left knee comes into the center of the body, hug it in. Draw it up and in towards the armpit. And then exhale, start to take that supine twist, crossing the left knee over. And seeing if you can allow the left knee to be heavy. Not pushing it, not forcing it. Just showing up and honoring your body for exactly how it is right now. Go ahead and bring the knee back to center. Then from here, I welcome you to go ahead and enter your Shavasana pose, your final resting pose. If there's anything that you need to close out class, maybe a little kind of resting pigeon or happy baby or a shoulder stand or a plow, I always welcome you to take any additional poses that you need to take to feel complete in your practice. If you're ready for Shavasana, go ahead and extend the legs long. Allow the palms to face up. And just allow yourself to simply be. Find that place where you feel surrendered, supported by the earth beneath you, where you feel the mind still, but freedom in that stillness. I'll give you a few moments to enjoy your stillness here, and I'll let you know when to wake up. Begin to deepen the breath. Start to invite movements back to the body, wiggling fingers or toes, rolling out wrists or ankles. Eventually rolling over onto the left or the right side body, cradling the head into the arms, using the arms as a little pillow. Finding comfort and ease. And then when you're ready, push your way up into a comfortable seated position. Once you make your way into that position, gently close the eyes, bring the hands to heart center, gently pressing the sternum into the thumbs into the sternum, sit up really tall. Together as a class, one more cycle of breath, deep inhale in. Exhale, let the breath go. The light and love in me honors the light and love in each of you. Namaste.